Hi everyone! So in this weekly overview video, I'm going to talk a little bit about your Unit 2A progress checkpoint that will be due. So over in 101, we're working on the Unit 2 Reading 2 Comprehension Check. So that is going to be a little quiz that basically goes over to make sure that you're understanding Reading 2, which is the pandemic's remote learning legacy, a lot worth keeping. So that article is going to be our Reading 2 that we're going to use as the focus in this unit and also as the focus of our summary response essay in Unit 3. So what the Unit 2A progress checkpoint is going to ask you to do is basically read it and annotate it. The same way that your first assignment that was due in 101 was to annotate, I'm going to ask you to do that again here. So the exact same format, you're going to write all over it, mark it up, highlight it, add comments, and really demonstrate comprehension so that you've broken the article down a little bit before you even go to take the Reading 2 comprehension check over in 101. So that's basically the main focus. Another thing that I've asked you to do, just in preparation for what we'll be working with in Unit 2 and 101, is look over two articles. One of them is called Evaluating Sources, CRAP, believe it or not. Those are it's an acronym for how the criteria we use to gauge an article's effectiveness and reliability and credibility. And then I want you to look over this module on paraphrasing resources, because the next thing that we're going to do as we get into the Unit 2B progress checkpoint, we're going to be focusing on paraphrasing a portion of this article. So those are some things I would like you to do in addition to this progress checkpoint. So for the progress checkpoint itself, I'm just going to go over the details, and you'll see that what I want you to do is annotate the Unit 2 Reading 2, the pandemic's remote legacy, a lot worth keeping. So just like you did with the 101 Unit 1 reading, you're going to show your comprehension by writing all over it. It says here you can copy and paste the text into a Word document and make electronic annotations, or you can print the article. And what I'm asking you to submit is either electronic annotations in a Word document or photographs, JPEGs preferable, of your handwritten annotations if you choose to print and handwrite. One thing that I have done that you might have noticed in the announcement is I have created a version that is already a Word document. So if you click on this, you should be able to just open it up. It should pop up down here in your downloads, and you'll see that it's a copy of the article all ready to go. And you would go in and, if you want to create a legend and say everything highlighted in yellow, you could highlight things in yellow and maybe at the top include something that not at the top because of all the green stuff. But if you wanted to include something here that was like a key for me so that I know what exactly you're doing. And as you go through, maybe you want to add in those comments, review, new comment. That's how you would add comments. That's obviously silly, but you can see what I'm doing. Maybe you want to include definitions. Maybe you just want to have comments where you say something like, and one thing that I would recommend that you do, and I'm just going to go ahead and recommend this to everyone, is identify things like the topic and what you see as the main idea. Because those are things that will actually feed directly into the comprehension quiz. So if you go over and look at my video in 101 in the announcement about completing the comprehension quiz, questions like topic and the author's main idea are going to be questions on that quiz. So if you would like, one thing you can do is go over and watch that video first, the one about the comprehension quiz, and maybe jot down a couple notes of things that you will be asked. And then as you're annotating, you can keep keep an eye out for those things, so that when it's time to take your comprehension quiz, which I mentioned in the 101 announcements is open source, you are more than allowed to open up your annotations and have them right there. So let's say you're taking the quiz and you have written the topic as, I don't know, obviously that's not correct, but let's say you've written that. You can have this annotation open, and when it asks like, what's the topic of this, you can look back and say like, oh, okay, I said that the topic was Tuesdays. And you can use this as a resource when you're taking your quiz in 101 as well. So the basic assignment here is to just go through, like you did with the first reading in 101, and create annotations for the pandemic's remote learning legacy, a lot worth keeping. Since it's the focal point of 2 units, it's very important that you understand and comprehend this article. So that's why we're going to start out with a clear baseline of dissecting it and really getting into it and working to comprehend it through the act of annotation.